Sundowns played the Amazulu this past weekend and beat them 1-0. I think it was a game where Amazulu will be kicking themselves because in the second half, they showed a much better display than they did in the first half. And I think they showed themselves, I hope, that Sundowns, it is possible that you can beat the Sundowns. It is possible. They have some weaknesses. I'm not saying that it's easy, but they gave a good account of themselves. So let's hear and react to what coach Rulani had to say about that game. The video is, of course, courtesy of Ayanda Newswa on YouTube. Please head on over there, subscribe, like the video, give him the support because they do the hard work of going out and getting these press conferences so that we can actually hear from our coaches and understand how they think, what they say, how they are. You know, I think there's a lack in SA for those type of things. But let's hear what coach Rulani had to say about his win, the 10th win in a row versus Amazulu.
Just your thoughts on what transpired in the 90 minutes.
Yeah, good evening to members of the media. Let me congratulate the football club and the technical team, the supporters, and especially the players. It was a difficult game. Even though I felt we had a lot of control in the first half, we still made a couple of mistakes. But we rode the game and tried to control it a little bit more. And then it became very difficult because Amazulu then tried to push for the equalizer, and they play with a very, very aggressive press with a very high line. And then we struggled a little bit for the legs because then you have to have transitions, you've got space behind to try to capitalize on.
I like his honesty. I like him coming out and saying that we made mistakes. We played this team. We did 1, 2, 3 wrong. The second half, we could have been better, but fatigue comes into play. I like his honesty. And I think one of the things that makes Rhulani stand out is him coming out and saying, look, guys, I got it wrong. The players got it wrong here and there. Then we made some adjustments, and this is what the other team was doing, and we broke them down like this. I enjoy his press conferences for that because sometimes you learn a little bit as well. You know, unlike other coaches, I'm not going to speak to it, but unlike other coaches who will come out and tell you and be harsh with it and be, Coach Steve could have come out and said, we are trying to build this culture and there's going to be mistakes, and I felt like there were mistakes, but we're working on fixing them. We're working on getting better. I saw this and I made a change, but we'll continue on with this. He came out and he said, hey guys, you guys are not ready. You guys don't know about this thing that we call football. Man. So I like that he's honest in that regard.
And then counter press very aggressively, which we, in some moments we did that very, very well. But very proud of the effort of the players, and could have maybe gone a bit more aggressive to get the second, but we played with a lot more control, and the mentality was very important. I'm very proud of the players because it's games like this, away from home, against a very, very, very aggressive opposition. And it's these type of games that you've got to show your mentality, and that's what these players did today. So very proud of the effort.
Thanks, Coach. Colleagues, just short and precise.
Coach, do you feel that you wrote a lack a bit? It appears that it was very close for Amazulu's goal. It was chopped off by referee. But on the balance of play, look, they came very strong towards the end.
No, for sure. It's a good team. Make no mistake, we beat a very good team today. But that's what champions have to do. You know, they've got to win even under difficult circumstances, and that's what we did today. So we beat a very good team. We've now won 10 games in a row, and we are very happy with where we are and the mentality that we have. We have to sometimes we have to grind out the results. It's not always going to be pretty, and it's tough. It's difficult for this group of players, to travel the way we are traveling, to play the number of games that we are playing, to have the mentality to bounce back after a difficult trip to Congo and losing, and then to come back to play against a team that also wants to beat you and is motivated to beat you. It's not easy. So I'm very proud of this group of players. The mentality, the spirit, and the attitude is fantastic. And this is the only way, and we will just continue this way with our mentality and with this attitude that also says we never give up. We keep trying, and we keep trying to give the best that we can. We were bleeding a little bit. We were not feeling too good, but now we feel a little bit better because of the result.
Here's the most interesting thing about the Sundowns team. On one hand, you could watch matches and say that teams are in it. You will get chances versus the Sundowns team. It'll be up to you to finish, right? It'll be up to you to take advantage of that. But then, on the other hand, you've won 10 games in a row. You are unbeaten in the league. Not just unbeaten, you've won every game. So then you go, yes, I watch a match and I'm like, Amazulu could have won, or Amazulu could have had a chance, right? But then on the balance of 10 matches, at what point do you go, you know what, maybe this is how they play. Maybe this is how they play. Because to give them the benefit of the doubt as well, TS Galaxy went 2-0 up versus them, and we thought they were done. And they showed that they could go to another gear, should they need to go to another gear. That's the other thing. Amazulu makes it 1-1. It's not a given that it ends 1-1 or Amazulu win. They can go up another gear. They've shown that they can do things like that. So I think this is the most interesting thing about Sundowns. Many teams will leave the field thinking or believing that they could have got something out of this game. But the truth is, you're going to join a long list of teams that have lost against this here Sundowns team. So that is the most fascinating thing about Sundowns, and it begs the question, is it a plan that we're going to allow you to do something similar to Ali roper doping in that famous match versus Fraser? I think it was Fraser. Where Fraser thought he was in the game for most of it, man. He was landing punches, but then you wake up on the floor. You wake up with 3 points gone. Is it a plan? Is it the brilliance of Rulani? Or is it just the quality of the PSL that can't take advantage of the open spaces, of the openings? It's very interesting. It's a very interesting question to ask.
Two questions.
Coach,
John,
congratulations.
thank you, sir.
You've won 10 games. Can you smell the turkey now?
No,
Yes.
I can't smell it. No,
It's too far.
no title can be won in December. No, unless I've got problems with my sinuses. So.
I mean, he's being humble. Guys, it's 10 games, it's 30 points. Teams aim for 30 points. 30 points is usually the relegation safety point, where you're like, no, this season, our first goal is to get 30 points. He's done it in 10 games, right? So he's very humble. I guess he wants to be humble, or he's trying to keep himself and his team on target. But truth be told, you could wrap it up and give it to Sundowns right now. I don't think much is going to change unless they get really tired from ICAF, or they get really shell-shocked from ICAF and they can't perform here, or they have a massive glut of injuries. Not wishing that on them. But otherwise, guys, the league is like it's gone. It's gone. They've broken a record. They're carrying on to extend that record. You know, it's never been done like this. So I hear him not wanting to say it out loud, but we know.
Coach, Smith, I'm sorry, independent media.
Sure, Smith.
Congratulations on the win again.
Thank you, sir.
Coach, in the end, it becomes a part of, it's all in the part of sport, it's all in the nature, there's emotions involved. But we saw a very unusual, heated exchange between you and the coach just before half time. You even took off your jacket. Was that heated for you?
No, it was. It stopped raining.
Yeah. How much of that can you talk about with us, or why it actually started?
Handbags. It's not important. Those things, we spoke about it. He's a gentleman. He apologized. So it's done. It's finished. No comment.
Oh, Rulani, he certainly implied that, you know, he was in the wrong. He was in the wrong. He apologized. What under the bridge, guys? I was right. So, oh man, hey, Rulani knows how to speak in these things. But I do think sometimes it may even be psychological. Sometimes you're playing versus a tough team. A handback, as he calls it, comes up. A little fight, a tiff. It gets the coach heated, he's heated, the players maybe get heated. Amazulu came out with a certain anger, man, in the second half. Like you could tell, Pablo Franco Martin Chimpi was also very angry, you know. And in as much as it boosts the Amazulu, it may make you lose focus. In as much as it boosts them, as much as the Sundowns team may seem like it could help. Maybe that's what the game needed. You know, at this point, you can make certain you can make certain assumptions about why Rhulani does things, but it's a very funny answer that he gave.
Coach, these are the last questions. Last three questions.
Coach, congratulations on the win.
Thank you, sir.
News from Gaga CFM.
Sure, I know.
We have
Shout out to Ayanda Newswa for the video.
30 points now, so in South African language, you are safe from relegation.
Yes.
After 10 games. And I just wanted to ask, is it a good thing to have that record on your back, or do you feel like it's something that eventually you'd like to get off your back, so to get the players at ease, or do they actually relish the pressure of having to continue with the winning streak in such an important record? That's something that hasn't been seen before in the league.
It's a good question. The only problem with getting it off your back is that you've got to lose. And we are very bad losers. I said to them, show me a good loser and I'll show you a loser. So we are bad losers, and we don't want to open that door. It keeps knocking. Every match we start at 0-0, defeat is knocking on the door. If you open it, it will come in, but defeat is like that. You know that friend that you have, that when you open the door, it gets comfortable, and then it calls the other friend, and then the other friend, and then the other friend, and eventually you've got everyone has taken over your house. So we don't operate in that space. We've got an incredible group of players with an incredible mentality, and I'm very proud of them. They are an amazing group, and they deserve everything that they get. In fact, even more.
This is what I mean when I say there's nice pressure. There is pressure, but it's not the pressure that the other teams are under. So the pressure at Sundowns is to keep pushing the envelope. The pressure at Sundowns is almost to try outdo the previous coaches that have come in. You got to try get out of Pito's shadow. You got to try get out of the co-coach's shadow, right? You got to forge your own road. Then there's also the pressure of being chased. It's not the same as what it used to be, because back in the day, what used to happen was that when you are the form team, other teams come in to play the form team almost as an audition. So players would be playing extra hard versus the top team, because you know that, hey, maybe if I play hard, man, I can catch the coach's eye, and then the coach will take me. I think this PSL is a very complacent PSL. It's a PSL where they let it go, where they go, "Hey guys, it's Sundowns in Tswembu. Let's not try and be fancy there. Let's not try and do too much there. Let's try and survive, and then we go home," right? We don't have the same type of pressure. But on them, like he says, it's 10 games unbeaten in the league. The first loss is going to be the most critical point for Sundowns this season, because the first loss and how you react to it is going to be what sets the tone for the rest of the season and what teaches the other teams what they can do, right? Similar to, have you seen people who have passed all the way through school, then they get to varsity and you fail your first test and it feels as though your whole world is crumbling. Your whole world is the same thing. If you've never failed, the first failure is a big thing, you know? So I get what he's trying to say here, that that's going to be the defining moment of the season. It's not going to be the win streak. It's not going to be the matches where they blow teams off the pitch. It's going to be, how do we recover when we've lost? Do we shrink after that, or do we come out and blow the next team away as a reminder that, guys, yeah, we need a team, you know? Can the PSL sustain that type of pressure? I don't know. I don't think so. Already, they've faced the biggest punches. They've faced the SuperSport and won. They've faced the Pirates and won. You know, maybe Cape Town City is the next big hurdle, I guess. But they've done all of these. They've faced the Kaizer Chiefs in a derby, or not in a derby. They've faced the Kaizer Chiefs that might put a different pressure on you in terms of the eyes and all of that stuff. They've faced the biggest punches, you know, not to say that Chiefs is the biggest, but Chiefs is not even there. But I'm just mentioning that it's a different type of thing where the eyes are on you type of thing. And there was that run with the Colin knockout where, you know, first leg, second leg, MTN8, first leg, second leg, things like that. But it is a pressure. And I think people don't realize that it is a pressure. And I like that he's honest about being sore losers. I like that he's honest about that. So, yeah, again, refreshing honesty.
Coach, the most...
Coach Sinatemba from Far Post.
Cheers, Sinatemba.
This season, you kind of struggled in terms of the options you had in the striking role, with almost all your strikers injured.
Yeah.
Now, Nasir back again. On top of what you have in Ribeiro and Shalulile. How much of a boost it is now going forward?
Big boost. So and very happy for Abuki. Good, very, very good human being. Unlucky, really unlucky, and top football player. I'm so happy for him because it's almost a year since he's been out, you know. And his teammates have been supporting him and helping him. So I'm very happy for him and happy for the group.
Coach, just the last one from my side. You come from a defeat from TP Mazembe, now you get Pyramid. How important that game now, just to get back in the Champions League for knockout stages?
Yeah, it's a difficult group we have in the Champions League. You can see it, but first is now to recover the players and try to get the legs back. Good regeneration, good sleep tonight. Drink lots and lots and lots of water, and rest and come back and do some analysis tomorrow morning and then start to prepare for the next game.
And we know how that game went, but I'm not gonna stick there.
She's back with Bruno. She's the only
Yeah.
Coach,
Save the
I know-
best
I
for
know
last.
People are running away from this question, but I just want to ask from your point of view.
Yes.
And I've been watching the game and about Amazulu goal that were denied by the assistant referee. What's your take on that? Was it a goal or was it not a goal?
I haven't. Are you asking me my opinion?
Yes.
I haven't seen it yet. I will watch and I will see and I will give you an honest perspective. I haven't seen it yet. That's my opinion.
Dancing. Guys, no, guys. The best coaches dance. The best coaches understand what the media is trying to do. So him avoiding that question is everything you want your coach to be like. This press conference has been refreshing, honest at times. He's protected his players at times. He's handled it very well. He's insinuated certain things regarding the fight with Kuchimpi. But yeah, again, I think Amazulu is going to be kicking themselves as the 9 other teams that have played the Sundowns will be kicking themselves. Where Sundowns may have been a little bit more open this season, but if you don't take your chances, they will take the 3 points, and they've been taking 3 points up to this point. So shout out to Sundowns, well done on breaking that record. Well, continuing the record. They broke it a few games ago, but continuing this record, continuing this run in the league. And also, I wanna give Amazulu some credit for playing well, especially in the second half. That aggression that Rhulani was pointing to. So it's good that they came out with that. But we'll see. We'll see how it goes on. I'll also do a reaction for the match that they played versus the Pyramids yesterday. Thank you guys so much for joining me. Remember, if you want to watch these videos, and I'm telling you, go to YouTube, Ayanda Newswa, subscribe, like the videos, watch the videos. These are the people that do the hard work to give us these press conferences, that give us insights into how our coaches think. A lot of the time in South African football, we don't necessarily care to listen to what the coaches have to say. You'll see it even with the press conferences. You can't see some press conferences when coaches play at certain teams or coaches play in certain stadiums and things like that. You won't see it. So it's very good that they give us this insight. But thank you guys so much for joining me. I'll see you guys on the next one.